everyone. Welcome back to the Drunk on Riding Show podcast. I'm your host, Warren Pawlowski, joined, as always, by my lovely wife, Kim. Kim, how are you doing?
How am I doing?
Yeah, how are you doing tonight?
Doing okay.
You're doing okay?
Yep, how about you?
I'm doing all right. I'm feeling all right. It's Friday night, and we're recording this. It's about 9:20 at night. The week is done. The weekend's just ahead of us. We got a lot of chores to go on, and Saturday I feel is one of the harder days of the week because the transition from the school to the kids and everybody being home and all the things that we got to get done. Sunday's kind of more of a relaxing day, but Saturdays
And you gotta cut the grass.
I gotta cut that grass. That grass is long.
Yep.
We got long grass right now.
But you ask me this every time, how you doing?
Would you not like me to ask you?
Well, I just, a thought came to me.
Sure.
Have you ever asked somebody, how you doing? And they reply, I'm fantastic. Normally the response is,
I'm good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Or okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But have you, nobody ever says, I'm horrible.
Well, do you honestly think anybody is fantastic?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just curious. You don't get either spectrum. You don't get people that say I'm fantastic, and you don't get people that say I'm terrible.
I've had people say I'm terrible.
Have you?
Have you met my family?
Okay, but like strangers, because that's something like you would, not strangers, but like acquaintances.
Well,
right?
I feel like when you're talking with strangers, when you're just having those throwaway conversations that people have throughout the day, you kind of have your script written for you already. So whatever anybody says to you, you already know it. It just comes out of your mouth. It's sort of like how when you're driving, sometimes you kind of go on autopilot and you just go someplace and you're not even thinking about it, but you go and you're not going where you need to go, but you're going somewhere
that doesn't happen
you usually
to me.
go. Oh, see, that happens to me
all the time. I know.
But like, if somebody says to me, "Hey, how you doing? How's your day going?" I'll be like, "Ah, fine, good. That's good."
Regardless of how you are.
I mean, I don't want people to know that I feel like shit if I feel like shit. So I'm going to say, "Yeah, it's fine. It's good." Because I want them to go away. Because I don't want to be speaking to them. If I'm feeling like depressed, if I'm feeling anxious, if I'm just tired that day, the last thing I want is a conversation that serves no purpose other than just, just the fact of passing time while you happen to coexist in a room together for long periods. If you need something, cool, let's talk. We got to chat. We got to determine. Let's hit the ground running and come to a decision. And I like a good little friendly back and forth and some chit chat, and I enjoy that. But if I'm not in the mood, I hate it, and I want you to go away so hard. And some people don't get that.
No. Well, that was my thought.
So, Kim, are you fantastic tonight?
Am I fantastic? No, I'm not.
See, nobody ever
fantastic.
says they're fantastic. Because nobody's fantastic.
Maybe somebody is.
Nobody's fantastic. I found this new word recently. It's not a new word. It's a relatively probably old word. And I happened upon it twice in this past month. One, in the book that I just started reading. I believe it is called The Splendid and the Vile. I didn't write that down in my notes here because I haven't finished reading it yet. The Splendid and the Vile, I think it's about World War II and Winston Churchill.
Okay, and you learned a new word?
Yes, and I also heard this word in something else recently. I don't know if it was another book that I was reading, if it was a Stephen King book, but it was a word that I had not seen or heard or just had reference to. It was just a new word for me.
Ooh.
And that word is the gloaming.
One or two words.
It's
the
no, I know the. Okay.
No,
I'm saying I have heard the word "the" before. That wasn't a new word for me. Okay, thank you, thank you. I'm talking about. Okay, just pretend like I didn't say "the."
I didn't know
Gloaming.
that.
I wanted to give you a little bit of context as
Okay.
to what it could be. I
Well,
didn't want to just
I
throw out the
thought
word
maybe
gloaming.
I thought it was the gloaming,
The
like,
gloaming. No, the
and
gloaming.
then I thought maybe I misheard you, and
No.
it was
All
like
right. So
de
gloaming.
gloaming.
Gloaming. Gloaming. Gloaming.
And what does that mean?
The gloaming is the period after sunset and before the darkness of night, aka twilight.
It seems to me, twilight is the acceptable word, and anybody who uses gloaming just has fun with a thesaurus.
Well, I think it's a nice word. So, but I believe I was talking to Jay about this on Fortnite
Oh, of
at
course
some
he knows
point.
this word. He knew this word.
No, he didn't. No,
He didn't.
I don't think he did. I don't. No, I think well, he didn't happen. He didn't act as if he knew it. He may have known it. He knows a lot of words, but he's sick also at the moment, so he may not have. What? What are you laughing? He doesn't know a lot of words. So
No, the fact that he's sick at the moment.
yes, he's fine. He'll get better. But we were saying that it sounds like a really good band name, like the Gloaming. So I looked it up. The Gloaming is an Irish traditional music group. It's
There you
also
go.
it's also the subtitle of Radiohead's album "Hail to the Thief" and the title of one of its tracks.
Well, so people use the word and know the word.
Yeah, it's a word that is out there, that is in use, that is it's just somehow not it wasn't in my vocabulary. You know what I was thinking
Well,
about? I've been thinking about a lot recently also.
no.
Rome.
Rome?
Rome.
Okay, what
So
about
like
it?
these Roman streets keep popping up,
Where,
or Roman like floors. So
where
like
are you going?
so these
You're
tiles.
seeing Roman
No,
streets
they're on the news because
on the news.
they find these intricate like Roman mosaics like 3 feet underground when they're trying to like do something else.
Yes, I've seen
And
a
they're
couple of
like
these.
everywhere, and they're like in the middle of like these fields that are like suddenly like, oh, it's like this. It used to be like this Roman villa.
But I'm sorry, they're surprised at this point. I mean, I thought this was a known thing that
Oh, I'm
Rome
sure.
had been built up.
Certainly. I'm not at my point yet, but they keep finding them, and then I saw another headline today where they're still puzzled about why Roman concrete lasts as long as it does and why it's
Oh,
so
you told
strong.
me about
I
this.
found that fascinating. Now, Rome, the fall of Rome was in like the 400s AD.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
so that was 1600 years ago, right? 400 AD. 1600 years ago? We're in the 2000s, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you looking at me like that for? What the math was too much?
I don't know.
Is that too is that
It's too late at night.
so I was thinking
I'm
about
like,
it.
is that right? It doesn't
So
seem right.
like that was only 1600 years ago and we lost stuff. There's so much about just that period that is underground, is covered, is like we have no idea that it's there, and then we just stumble upon it and we're like, "Whoa, look at this. This is so cool."
Okay.
So that was like, again, that was less than 2,000 years ago this happened, and
Okay.
it's gone. There are cities in Asia
Yeah.
and Africa and like the down there, like the Indian kind of subcontinent down in that area of the Asias, where there are these lost cities
Uh-huh.
that they've stumbled upon that are just completely wiped from history, and they don't like really know anything about them, but they're there. Modern humanity.
Mm.
Humans in our current form have been around for like 150,000 years.
Yeah, life must have sucked back then.
Dude, what was going on for the last like 150,000 years? Like we have no records of any of it.
No.
Supposedly, like writing was supposedly, like 15,000 years ago, something like that. That
Yeah.
writing first appeared. Like I
think there's books written on the subject.
there
if
is
you-
something that we lost. Like history is just like we don't have the information, and it's just fascinating. Like we have all of these years behind us on this planet that are just it just got erased by time. I just find that fascinating.
Yeah. I don't know. It's what are you gonna do about it? You know? I think there's more you can study on the subject, quite honestly.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
I don't personally know a lot about it.
But it's like you think of ancient history, you think of like the pyramids or something, right?
Yeah, it was
That wasn't
of
even that
all
long
the
ago.
I know, but listen, I'm really into history. I really am. I do like it, but I have my periods of history that I like, and I have my periods of history that I don't like. Ancient, not my favorite.
Why?
It's boring to me.
Why is it? You know why it's boring? Because we don't have a lot of it.
These people can just drone on, and I just can't. I don't find it interesting. So I have my periods of time that I find interesting. But that's okay. I don't need to like all just because I like history doesn't mean I need to like all of it.
No, I suppose not. I like movies. I don't like all movies. I was asked today if I like Hallmark movies, and before I even answered,
Who? Who asked you if you like what I'm sorry, who asks a guy okay, go ahead. Who asked you that?
my therapist.
Oh, okay. Why did that come up?
We were talking about something. We were talking about some movie, The Blessed Bracelet, or something. She was using that as a reference. She asked if I watch Hallmark movies, and I just kind of glanced at her, and she goes, "No, you don't watch Hallmark movies." I was like, "No, I don't. I'm not a Hallmark movie guy. I need movies with some kind of thought."
Yeah, you never, ever, ever, ever watch a Hallmark movie with Warren. It's one of the main reasons I don't pick romance movies
I'm
for
so
this.
sorry.
For this, because he is the worst person to watch a romance
What? Because
movie with.
I know what's gonna happen.
And you call it out, and you just
I
it's like
stopped. I don't
you
do
like
that no more.
it's like you could tell you're actively like hating this movie and like when is the end gonna come because you know it's gonna happen, and I'm just like just leave, just go.
I like when movies respect my intelligence or challenge my intelligence, and
It's
I
not
do
always about
also.
intelligence, though.
It's not just intelligence, but like even if a movie is just seems smartly made. Like I like when thought and care are put into the production. Like
I get it.
things are thought out in this. Like this is all planned. Like stuff like really good action movies. Like the choreography behind them and the effects and whatnot. Like I appreciate that kind of stuff. But when it seems like they just kind of had one take and they're like, okay, that was fine, guys. Let's continue on. We'll fix it in post with some dubbing and the people have no chemistry. Like there's that new Chris Evans Ana de Armas movie that came out on Apple Plus, and it's getting panned. Apparently, it's one of the worst rom-coms in a long time. Like that on paper sounds like it should be a great movie. It's Chris Evans and Ana de Armas. They're both awesome.
Yep.
You know, with and she like plays some kind of like spy, and he's like a beekeeper, and they like have some kind of weird romance thing. But it's just it's from all accounts they just have zero chemistry, and it's just a bad movie. It's just horribly done.
Well, it's unfortunate because he's pretty to look at.
So she.
Yeah, but sometimes it's nice just to watch a movie and get lost in the story, not.
But if I
look at all the choreography, look at. I know what's gonna happen. It's just that's why people like.
But how am I supposed to
trashy
get
TV?
how am I supposed to get lost in it if I know or have a high expectation of
Live
what
in
to
the
come?
moment.
Like live TV, you can't predict that stuff. Some of the stuff that I've heard about, like I was hearing about this Vanderpump Rules show.
You love Vanderpump Rules. You talk about
I'm curious
it a lot.
about it. There's I like about the recaps. But, well, this is the only one I know. You brought up the reality TV show. It sounds fascinating. Like these people are just they're doing things.
You don't think that's scripted?
It probably is to an extent, but it's scripted in a way that seems natural. Like I think of soap operas. My mom used to watch soap operas a lot. I used to watch soap operas a lot when I was younger because my mom was watching the soap operas. We only had the one TV, so I would watch whatever was on it. It happened to be soap operas. Days of Our Lives. I watched Days of Our Lives for several years. I was big into the Marlene is a devil, or is possessed by the devil, and Stefano is like the bad guy lurking in the darkness, and then there's Bo and who are the two, the brother Lucas and Sammy, and like that was my era. I watched that for a long time. That was not a smart show, but I enjoyed that show. It was also not natural, where everybody, like, you deliver the sentence and then they'd stare at you, and it would just be a long pause as they like looked at you. Like the camera just lingers on them for no reason, and it always bothered me when when reality TV is edited and shot and scripted in such a way that it's always moving. It's always like, what's going to happen next? Oh, snap. Did she just say that? Although I will say there's a lot of repetition. Like, I remember watching Jersey Shore. Remember when we were watching Jersey Shore back in, what was that, college? When we were watching it?
We?
Yeah, didn't we watch Jersey Shore together? Did I watch that in high school? I mean, when the hell was Jersey Shore out? I didn't think it was that long ago.
I don't know. I didn't.
Kim lost this memory. We watched... I watched it at some point with someone who I thought was you. And, like, Jersey Shore was wild. You never knew what was going to happen next. Like, but they would show, like, the same reaction shot, like, 2-3 times. They'd be like, oh, they a lot of it was just people responding to one sentence over and over again. And then, or like in the Kardashian show, how many times you got to see them eat lettuce or answer a text message? Or like, there's so many things that are just there. They're like padding. I just like that. But I like a nice, well-paced thing.
Yeah, well,
with some fun.
Long story short, don't watch a romance with Warren.
So what have you been watching of late? And what have you been watching, listening to, all that fun stuff?
Yeah, I watched a mini series on Netflix called From Scratch. It was about this woman who goes to Italy to study art and falls in love with a man. And I don't want to spoil it, but
yeah, no spoilers. Oh, she has to rethink it.
It was good.
It was good?
Did I love the ending? Nope.
Long-time listeners will know what that means, probably.
Look, I like endings to be how I expect them to be.
Right.
Not how I expect them, how I want them to turn out.
We should watch Casablanca.
How does it end? I mean, is it gonna piss me off? Because I don't want to watch it if it's gonna piss me off. Somebody's gonna die, tragic death. They're all dead at the end, something like that. They all die at the end, don't they? I could see it in your face. Is that what happens? I will read a full-on synopsis of the movie before we watch it. Like, I can't stand being disappointed by movies.
I don't think it has any... I don't think anything like that happens. No, I don't think they're all dead. In Casablanca.
I don't know.
It's not like J.J. Abrams Lost up in here. This is a classic film.
They didn't all die, did they? No.
Weren't they all dead at the end? Wasn't that the whole point?
Oh, yeah. Well, the ending, I think, was open to a lot of...
Were some of them dead? Or they all died eventually? Like, remember, like, some of them were still on the island? Like, wasn't Hurley, like, in charge or something?
No, I thought there was a lot of question about, like, what the ending meant. Those pissed me off, too.
You know what I watched the other night? I watched Silver Bullet. And I'll talk more about this in my dissection. But it had Terry O'Quinn in it, who was in Lost. And that made me want to rewatch Lost. And this is the second time Lost has been brought up in a short amount of days, so...
You're the one bringing it up.
It's just coming. It's coming. I didn't bring that up. Did I bring it up? Did I bring Lost up? I thought you brought it up.
No. You're like, do you know who that guy is?
Well, the other day, yeah, I brought it up.
Yeah, you're like, do you know who that is? And I'm like, no, it looks like. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What's next?
We watched Infinity War, Matthew and I.
Yeah, you and Matthew.
Olivia watched some of it. She came in and out. I think you mostly ignored it.
100%. I
I
don't even remember it was on
For
television.
this watch of Infinity War though, I tried something a little different because my review for Infinity War was one of the most viewed videos of the channel at the time because it was very controversial because I friggin' hated the movie when it came out. And people were so pissed off at me. They're so pissed off. I stand by it though. The movie has some problems, has some serious problems. And I think more people have turned against it over the time. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad movie by any regard, but this time, what I did was I basically skipped all of Thor's parts of the movie. So all wherever he goes to like the movie, the planet that Drax says he make is a made up word. Kim just put on Iron Man glasses.
Well, you're talking about Infinity
Yeah.
War. I thought it was very fitting.
They go here and they get the new axe made and it's with the ice troll guy who is the guy from Game of Thrones. Peter Dinklage? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He's a great actor. We used to watch him in Nip Tuck. He was fantastic. In that movie, not good. Just not. He is not a good role. He's not a good character. The whole thing is just awkward and unnecessary. And we skipped it, and the movie was so much better. I was so much more interested in it. Just having him like go off on a side quest and then come back with the axe feels like something that he did before or something, but it worked so much better for the movie.
Yeah.
Still would have been better if Hulk did something and Mark Ruffalo's head wasn't floating above the Iron Man suit.
You can't have
But
everything.
it was very I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We still haven't gotten to Endgame. Matthew wanted to wait to watch it with Olivia. I said, okay, well,
Well, that's very sweet.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, it won't.
No, I played Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
I told you about this the other day. I was telling you about this. I loved this game. I haven't played Mass Effect. This is the original Mass Effect, Mass Effect 1, just Mass Effect, since it came out. Apparently, stuff like 20. Don't touch the microphone. You're gonna make a little noises on the thing, and I'm gonna have to edit it out, and I'm gonna have to interrupt my little story here to satisfy you where you're over here playing with a microphone to throw me off while I'm talking about Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So I haven't played this game since it came out. And this is like an updated kind of remastered version of the game, and it is so good.
Good.
It was so good. However, this is a game that thrives on decisions. And if in certain moments you're not paying the best of attention, you're going to screw up and it's going to cost you something. I played this one mission. It was to bring down the sky or something like that. It's about this asteroid and it's going to crash into this planet. And the guy who is like piloting, who is ensuring that the thing is going to crash into the planet, is holding people hostage. But as he's crashing, as he's bringing the meteorite down,
Right.
and you have to stop him. And so the guy says, "Take one step closer here. I'm gonna blow up the scientists."
Did you blow up the scientist?
And he's like, "Let me go away." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna let you go. You're friggin' about to crash a meteorite into the planet, and there are two people over here in this little jail cell. I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to stop you, and I'm going to stop this meteorite crashing." I wasn't going to let this guy go. So I shoot the guy, and he blows up the scientist. And I got like negative 20 something points. And I was like, I couldn't let that guy go. I just couldn't do it. I'm sorry that the scientist got blown up. But it was an active situation. And then after that, I kind of stuck with my kind of renegade attitude throughout the rest of the game. And then at one point, I was, so there, I knew that there was a trophy for getting into a relationship, but I wasn't really feeling any of the people, at first. I was like, I don't
Oh
really,
no.
no, I was like, I'm not feeling this guy. And then this blue alien shows up, right? And she's like super flirty. I'm like, all right, let's go. Now you're speaking my language. And so I'm like, I go and I have talks with her. I learn about her customs and her people, and I'm like, yo, let's talk. And apparently her species like has babies with whoever and whenever to like mix up the gene pool and like find their strengths and whatnot. I was like, that's cool. So I'm like planning to get into a relationship with this girl, right? Liara, I think her name is. And meanwhile, there's this human woman, Ashley, who is like, she's a xenophobe. She hates aliens, right? And I don't dig that. I'm like, oh, you kind of suck, man. I don't like her. But everybody's like, yo, what's going on with you and Ashley? And I'm like, nothing. I don't talk to her. I don't bring her on any missions. I never once interact with her outside of a cutscene, outside of a required
It
cutscene.
sounds like you should. They want you to.
I go to head toward a story mission, and Ashley friggin' comes in to my quarters and starts talking to me, and it's like close quarters, and they like start flirting. And I'm like, no, I don't want to flirt. I don't have any choice but to flirt, or like the only thing I could do was like stop flirting and like try to like pin her down onto the bed. Like it said it was like a flirty kind of joke, or it was like, I need you to get into my bed right now kind of thing. I was like, I'm not doing that. So I was like, I did like a flirty joke, and it just ended with like, you end up having sex with her. I ended up having sex with her. I don't want to have sex with her. I don't want to go in a relationship with her. She's a freaking xenophobe. I felt like I just got forced into that. And speaking of, I what I have done with my video games of late is not really worry about the trophies in the first playthrough. Not worry about anything else. Not worry about any.
Mm-hmm.
I go where I feel like going. I do what I feel like going. So like, especially in the open worlds, like I played Horizon Forbidden West not that long ago, and God of War, and a lot of these open worlds where there's like so many things you can do that I just whatever I felt like doing, that's the thing that I went and did, and it made for enjoyable experiences. I really like doing it that way. So I did that with Mass Effect here, and I gotta say the story was really compelling. So compelling, in fact, that I just kind of went from the main event to the main event because it kept telling me, you gotta go do this. There was no like, hey, you could take a week off. You could take some time, go explore, go do something else. There was like this one moment at the beginning, or like, I don't know if that was like midway through the game or like maybe like 5 hours in, where you have 3 different destinations that you have to go to.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the 3 main points of the main plot.
Okay.
And before that, you can explore. You can like freely explore. So I check out a couple things, and there's a whole journal of everything of all the missions that you have. I'm like, none of these really sound all that interesting. The only one that really sounds interesting to me is the main plot point. So I go to do the main plot point. But as you're going to the main plot point, as you're exploring the areas of the main plot, you're getting more information about these side quests and whatnot. I'm like, those sound cool. And I keep adding to my list of all these side quests that I can do. I was like, oh, there's one where there's like some robot loose on the moon, right? But I do the first of those 3 main missions, and I was like, oh, this is there was like one where Rex, and there's like this breeding colony in Vermeer, and I had to like talk him down off the edge, and like I had to use my antagonistic powers to like scream at him and make him shut up and not kill himself or shoot me, and so I could save him. So I saved him, and then I beat down the guy, and then they were like, oh, but you got to go to this other place over here, like right now. So I'm like, all right. So we go over there, and that's where, let's see, I don't remember where that one was. No, maybe that was the first one, and Vermeer was the second one, and then the last one, you have to make a choice between who's going to die between two different characters.
Yeah.
And I thought I had chosen Ashley, who is the person that I
You're
ended up
like
getting
trying
into the
to get her
relationship.
killed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted her to get killed, right? I chose her specifically with the plan to have her killed. There's two people where there's this one mission kind of splits into two. One goes ground team. One character goes with the ground team that's kind of like cannon fodder, and one team member goes to arm the nuke. And at the end of the mission, you have to choose: do you help the person arming the nuke fight off the attack, or do you help the person at the forward squad fight off their attack? I was literally an elevator down from the person in the forward squad when I got this call, and I had to make this decision. And I was like, why would I turn around and go all the way back there to help that guy when the other person is right here?
So you didn't
Well, logically, I said, I can go right up this elevator right here, help her out, and then we can go back and get this guy. Because we'll have more numbers, we can fight off the enemy force. Like, I'm right here. Like, it's going to take me less time to finish this.
Yep.
I'm souped up, I'm shooting things. Like, I'm one-shotting everybody. Nobody has a prayer when I walk in. It's not like these battles are taking me hours,
boy.
you know? Yeah, I got a good character. I go up there. I save this chick. We fly away, leaving the other guy to his just death, and he ends up getting blown up. And I'm like, what the hell? I didn't want to do this. The story progresses in a way that I did not like, and then not that I didn't like it. I liked the story, but it didn't go where the choices didn't go where I wanted them to.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's like the endings of movies.
Right. So I keep going with the story because the story's so compelling, and it keeps telling me like you gotta go do this, right? So I don't explore. I'm like, oh, I'll save the side quests for later because I don't feel like doing them. I go and I fight the big boss, the final boss. Roll credits. There's nothing more. There's no more game. I can't continue the game. I can't go and do the side quests. The game is over. I can't go back. It's done. All the stuff that I didn't do.
Replay it.
I could replay it, sure, but I want to do. My goal was to come sit here
I'm sorry.
and play the 3 Mass Effect games
I'm sorry this happened to you.
in a row and have the full Mass Effect experience, or the 4 in a row and have the full Mass Effect experience. So I wanted the full story. I wanted to experience it all, and because I went the golden path, as it were, of the main story, I got gypped out of all the side quests.
I'm sorry.
I was pissed off.
I know.
I'm still upset.
Well,
But what a game, though. I absolutely loved it.
yeah. Let's shift gears here for just a second and talk about what we watched for.
I'm sorry, am I talking too long? Because I could go on for so much more longer. I have so many things to talk about. I took copious notes for this episode.
Okay.
You want to? We're the night is long for Kim. She is a tired one. So we are going to talk about the Video Club pick of the month, because I got something to say about this one too. But I'm gonna let Kim talk first because
You've got something to say about this one.
but because I've been talking and I need to take a drink because my throat is dry after that long monologue about Mass Effect. So our Video Club pick of the month was my pick. It was The Last of Us on HBO. I caveated it. I said, we watch episode 1.
Yep.
And if we like episode 1, we can continue watching the rest of the show. If not, we just watch episode 1.
Yep.
So Kim, tell me about The Last of Us, and I will provide more information in a moment.
So, I mean, I did like the episode. I did. I would probably definitely watch more. The first episode was free on HBO Max, right? Yeah,
It
HBO
was free.
Max.
It was free on HBO Max.
And if you want to watch more, you have to pay for it. But I found it pretty in line with the video game, which was interesting. I mean, of what I remember from the video game. Like, it stayed almost exactly what I remember from the game. I found it so much harder to watch, though,
Really?
than the video game.
Which part? Like the
Oh my God,
daughter
especially with
stuff?
Sarah. Like, that was just rough. Like, it was just started just so. And I just, the second, like, you meet her, because I had played the video game, and I'm like, I don't want to, I don't want to live this, right? I don't want to live this because, and then maybe they did this in the game, and I just failed to remember. But I don't remember watching her die. I remember the, I remember it starting.
No, you do.
You do?
Yeah.
But I don't remember all of like the neighbors and going and seeing like the neighbor in the
No.
beginning, right? Like when she goes over their house.
So the entire beginning of the episode, their entire her entire storyline
Was added.
was added
Yeah.
from existing material that didn't make it into the final game.
But
So
I feel like it made it harder to watch because you get to know her. You're with her.
oh
You're
yes.
going in it. So now you're like behind Sarah and you're like, okay, Tommy and her dad come and pick her up, and the second they do that, I'm like, this is man, this is gonna suck. This is gonna suck because I know where this is going. Because now we're like at the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. I do remember this now in the movie. You explore your dad's. Yeah, okay. It's all coming back to me.
What are you talking about?
The game.
Oh yeah. Well,
The game.
when you
Yeah,
play
yeah,
as
yeah,
her
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
you play
walking
as
around
her.
the room, yeah.
But seeing it with like something with like it's one thing when it's like these characters on the video game, but when like these are actors, these are people acting this out. Oh man. And knowing the rest of the game, maybe it won't be so bad to watch the rest of it, but that's just it stood out to me.
Could you remind me, where did we watch it?
Where?
Yeah. Which room did we watch it in?
Upstairs in the bedroom, I think.
Okay, we watched it upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. They added a lot of material at the beginning of the show. I thought
the
that was
beginning.
really cool. I like the additions. I really dug that. But I've played The Last of Us a lot.
Okay.
It's
I only played it once. So.
it's one of my favorite games. I think
Warren doesn't like
the
it.
first God of War supplanted it. God of War 2018. I've played The Last of Us so many times, just so much. I'm so familiar with the story, with the characters, everything about it. I've read the comic books. I'm very ingrained in this world, and so I really expected to dig this show.
You didn't?
I did not at all. I
Aw.
really did not. There's a reason we haven't watched it, and there's a reason I haven't subscribed to HBO. Let me read this. When You're Lost in the Darkness is the series premiere of the American post-apocalyptic drama television series The Last of Us. Written by series creators Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann and directed by Mazin, the episode aired on HBO on January 15th, 2023. When You're Lost in the Darkness was originally written as 2 episodes, which were combined as HBO executives felt the original first episode would not compel viewers to return the following week. It was watched by 4.7 million viewers on the first day and almost 40 million within 2 months. The split episodes happen right at when they transfer over and you see him, that boy who comes in who is infected,
Yeah.
or girl, whatever it was, who's infected, and he throws the body in.
Yeah.
That was where the first episode was going to end, and then when he walks out, that was the beginning of the next episode.
Okay.
There was something really hyper real looking about the show, where all the colors just seemed super saturated. Everything was just over the top, and the reason I asked about where we watched it is I was wondering if maybe that was something to do with 4K, but it wasn't. It was like the exact opposite of it. I did not like this show enough to subscribe to HBO. that's really where it comes down to it. And the final hook of the episode where you see
Yeah.
the thing roar there, I was like, that's just cheesy. Like, I don't like that. Why? Like,
I mean, that's what happened.
and I don't know. I didn't like it, and I gotta be honest with you. I'm gonna sound like an awful person for this. The girl playing Ellie, she's a good actress. She don't look like Ellie, and it bothers me. But she sounds
didn't.
like she sounds like her.
Yeah,
She's like filling her spot. Just
He
I
looked
couldn't
like-
get it. He
looked like Joel.
he reflected Joel, right?
Yeah.
He was like a different.
Tommy was.
I didn't mind Tommy. I thought he was fine. Tommy is Tommy. The test was like the spot on. I think it might have been the same.
But Sarah
same
didn't
woman.
look like Sarah.
No, Sarah didn't look like Sarah, and that was fine. All those people were fine. I did not like this girl, Bella Ramsey. I don't like her. I didn't want to look at her. I didn't want to watch her in a series. And I again, I'm going to sound awful for that, but you know, Ellie from The Last of Us was at least loosely based on that actress, now actor, Elliot
Page.
Page.
Yeah.
Elliot Page. And, you know, unofficially kind of, right?
Yeah.
But, like, she has a certain look in the game.
Wait, is it Elliot Page?
I don't remember who it was. I think that's who it was that she was based on.
I mean, I don't remember him looking like that, though.
Maybe it's the wrong person then. I don't remember who.
It's
somebody. It's somebody.
Yeah.
There's just a certain, like, I know what Ellie looks like. I've had Ellie and Joel in my head for years. This is Ellie and Joel. And
Fun fact.
I could see the guy coming in and be like, okay, that's cool. That's a take on Joel. I see her and I'm just like, I don't like it. And I think I could get over it, but I just did not feel compelled enough to subscribe to HBO.
So I just want the listeners to understand something here. When Warren says, like, this is his favorite, okay, he really means this. To the point where when we were having our first child, was pregnant, we didn't know yet if it was a boy or a girl. His top 2 names for our child were Joel and Ellie.
The Joel was a stretch, and I knew that one. But the Ellie I was really rooting for.
You were rooting for Ellie because you tied in. You're like, oh, your grandma.
Eleanor. That's right. What do you think Ellie's short for? Eleanor. Let's go. I thought it would have been great, and you did not like the name.
No.
I was like, oh, well. And Joel, I was like easily talked out of. I was like, oh. But I liked the Ellie. But yeah, we didn't know the name. He's definitely a Matthew though. Like knowing him, like he's a Matthew.
Yeah.
I want to do something controversial here right quick. And, despite everything I just said where I could not get into this show at all to the point where I did not want to watch it. I do want to watch it at some point, and I think much like sometimes I go into a video game and I just can't get into it, and I come back later and I absolutely love it, which has been the case for me for several video games, most famously Witcher 3, which I tried so hard to get in, and then once I did, I played it for 200 hours.
Yeah.
It became my laid off life. It was lovely.
Yeah.
I want to leave this show unranked and say I want to come back to it and rank it then. Okay. And just put it aside and say I don't feel like I can give a ranking to it. Like if I would put it at the bottom of the list right now. For me,
I feel that's kind of strong.
I did not like it. I did not dig the show, and that's what I'm saying. Like maybe I wasn't in the right headspace for it. Maybe I wasn't in the right moment. Maybe I need to come in with a different expectation, reset.
Yeah.
How I'm going into the show.
Yep.
And maybe I'll like it more next time. So I think it's coming out on Blu-ray or 4K at some point. I'll probably be able to pick it up for $20. I think I'd much rather do that than subscribe to what was HBO Max is now going to be Max, because screw them. I don't really want to subscribe to them in their current state. I don't think. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. So, Kim, how do you feel about that?
That's fine. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to leave The Last of Us, the TV show, unranked for now. We will come back to it at a future time when I randomly feel like watching The Last of Us in the middle of the month and subscribing to HBO, because who knows what, because I know that's going to happen at some point.
So, for our next pick.
You're just moving it right along. Kim, tell us about our next video club pick, which of course comes for you. I would like to reach out to our audience at some point and ask for a recommendation, but
I'm going to do something a little different, because I couldn't quite decide.
Oh.
I couldn't quite decide. So, without telling you the name of the movie, I'm going to give you 3 options here. And I want you to pick one, and that will determine.
Dixie.
Stop. Ignore her. That will determine.
You're going to describe.
Movie. No, I'm going to give you 3 dates.
You're going to give me three dates?
Yep, a year, and you're going to pick a year, and that will coincide with the movie.
What is the year?
There's 3 different ones, so your choices.
But is it the year that the movie is made? What is the meaning behind the year?
Yeah, the year the movie is made.
The year that the movie...
Or that it came out.
The year that... Okay, yeah. Okay. We're getting very specific and scientific over here. The year that the movie... I like this. It's a little sort of metagame. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I had a whole thing I wanted to talk about metagames, by the way. I'll save it for the next time because I'm long-winded. So, 3 movies, 3 dates, 3 years. I pick one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down.
Okay. 2006, 2015, 2020.
It's not years I was expecting. I was expecting 19s. 2006, 2015, and 2020. Mm-hmm. Well, we did a brand new thing for mine the last month, which was a 2023 show. So let's do a little throwback. Let's go back to 2006.
Okay.
Let's see what you got.
Oh, hold on, that's not it. The movie we're going to watch was directed by Spike Lee, 2006, and it is called The Inside Man.
Interesting.
Have you seen it?
Nope.
It stars Denzel Washington, Clive Owen, Jodie Foster, Chris Plummer, William Dafoe. Don't know how to say that name. And we're going to stop there because I don't know how to say the rest of the names.
I got to tell you. I don't know how I'm going to feel about this movie.
Why? Do you know anything about it?
No, but I don't like Denzel Washington.
You don't? Oh, really?
No.
I did not know that.
No, I don't like him as an actor. I've never watched a thing that I enjoy him in. So maybe this will change it. Maybe this will turn me around on him.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
Well, you like the other people.
Who are the other people? I like Willem Dafoe.
Clive Owen.
Clive Owen. He was the guy from Men, right? Yeah, Children of Men.
Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster.
Chris Plummer. Christopher Plummer.
Oh, he's the old guy. Yeah. All right, Inside Man. I mean, Spike Lee's a director.
What does that mean?
I mean, he is a person who makes his mark on the movie. Like he has a very particular style. I feel kind of avant-garde street style.
Okay.
I like him. I think, right? Didn't he direct?
I don't know any this is lost on me.
I think he directed 25th Hour. Wasn't that him who directed that? Audience, tell me what tell me if I'm 25th. Yeah, Spike Lee. Have you ever seen 25th Hour?
No.
Well, we should watch that. I'm not going to put it here as a pick, but It's a good movie. He directed
I can't believe you don't like Denzel Washington. You
Malcolm
got
X.
beef with Denzel Washington.
I don't like him. I don't like
That's a
him.
shame.
Yeah, he's.
I've heard a lot about this Netflix show called Beef. It's getting a lot of attention right now.
That's the one with the guy from The Walking Dead in it.
Yeah,
Right?
it sounds supposed to be excellent.
I've seen that a lot.
Yeah, and Ali Wong.
They must have a good marketing budget behind that one.
Is she the one? I think she's the one that's. This could be a total lie, but she's dating.
Who? Put me in
Uh,
suspense.
I can't think of his real name. Barry. I can't think of his real name.
Barry. Now, see, that's
Stefan.
Bill Hader.
Yeah.
See, now, Barry, the final season of Barry, now that's a reason I may subscribe to HBO. Now, if I subscribe to HBO to watch Barry, we're going to watch The Last of Us.
Yeah.
We're going to knock it all out one at a time. It's like how I was watching Community while we had HBO. I was just like, I want to watch Community. It's on here. I'm going to watch it. And all that you got to make do. It's like it's not one of the staples. It's not a Disney or a Netflix. So we're only gonna have it for. And I was debating canceling the Disney for a while, but
You will have two pretty pissed off people.
well, that's why I debated and stopped debating.
And one really mad wife
Yeah.
when she's screaming, "I want to watch The Incredibles."
Yeah, she was watching The Incredibles this morning.
Frozen, mommy.
She was watching Spider-Man this afternoon. I go, ooh, Spider-Man's on. I want to watch Spider-Man. I'm like, okay. Well, she goes, shit. So I go to like the first Spider-Man. She goes, no, not that one. She has me go over to the Amazing Spider-Man because she thinks that's the first one because it's the farthest away from the beginning. I said, no, that's the last one. The first one is this one. She goes, I want to watch the first one. So we start watching the first one with Tobey Maguire. We finished it. She liked it. We cuddled while I worked and she watched Spider-Man.
There you go.
Yeah, was coding a page and letting Toby and do his thing in the background. Willem Dafoe and it's still a great movie. It's still it's very much a Sam Raimi movie, but it's good. Kim is falling asleep over here, so I'm going to say
I am not.
You look like you want to go to bed, and the bed is calling your name. The
It
pillow
is.
is just like Kimberly, go to sleep. Come to bed.
This episode is a train wreck.
Come play on me. It's a train wreck. It was
Oh my
great.
God.
Whatever. I talked about Mass Effect for too long. I'm sorry. She's all over me. So this has been the Drunk on Writing Show. If you enjoy this, please subscribe to the channel. Please head on over to youtube.com/drunkonwriting. Subscribe there. drunkonwriting.com. Become a patron. We have all sorts of fun, exclusive perks over there I think you should check out, including exclusive podcasts, exclusive behind-the-scenes videos, fun things. Go check it out. Support the show. Do something. Until next time, as always, I'm your host, Warren Pawlowski. That's Kim over there.
Did you bring up this is sponsored by?
Thank you to our lovely patron supporters, my best friend Ariya and my brother David. And thank you for your support on this episode. Thank you, Kim, for your support and for your reminders, keeping me honest up in here. Thank you for that. Until next time, cheers, and keep on writing.
That was a rough one.